the thing that I'm doing is I'm creating some rules and structures around females specifically for myself that I have to surrender to. And I'm going to commit to you on camera as well. So I have to surrender to these because we can't do anything. So here's the two rules. Here's the two rules. Now, they're soft rules, but are relatively hard. Rule number one. So I'm in my family home now, and this is where it all began. It's weird. I'm standing right now in our pool room. We have a pool table room. Yeah, I know that might sound fancy. My parents worked their ass off their whole life to like get a house which has a pool room. Anyway, point is like, I'm in my family home. This is where it all began. I actually started my first video here. I remember sitting here and I was like, man, I feel so good. I feel so good. I had lost all the weight. I had done it myself without actually going to coaches, without finding something. Like, I had mustered and found my own way. I had tried all the diets, didn't try that diet. Then finally, like, what was it that I actually solved? And I felt amazing. It wasn't like my upbringing. I didn't know you could feel like this. It was a whole new world. And my immediate sense when I felt good was, oh my God, I want to give this to people. I want to give this to people. I want to give it to people, and I want to be like, you must do this. And I remember my first video was kind of like, here's what you got to do. And then you're like, cool. And then I realized, I'm watching a lot of videos about here's what you got to do. And what you got to do isn't what gets in the way. So a couple of things to get from that is, number one, the ultimate, people are always chasing for stuff. We're always chasing for success, chasing for women, men, money, freedom, community, whatever it is. Once we as a human being or a condition get this thing, understand that if you're a healthy individual, the first thing you're going to want to do is like, I've got this thing. You're like, okay, it's not that good. I know, everybody, here, can you have it? Can you have it? So what actually truly makes us happy, like what really, if you want to hijack the system, what makes us really happy is genuinely giving selflessly to other people. So that doesn't mean that we can all give, you can give $1, you can give a helping hand. If you see somebody struggling with a bag, I always pick up a bag. If you see somebody like struggling with anything, hold the door, help them with that. If you've got 1 minute, not that I'm saying derail your entire day, but understand that those moments is what true happiness is. And even once you've achieved your pursuit of whatever dopamine pursuit that your identity aligned with, at the end of the day, the moment you reach it is you're just going to want to give it away anyway, because you want to give other people a great feeling. So you have the ability to have happiness at any point because you can give people a good feeling. I don't know, it's weird. So I've come back to my family home and they live a separate world to me. I'm not going to discuss them. They've asked me years and years ago when I've said, look, I'm going to go on social media. We're going to be the biggest name on the planet. Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a part of it or do you not want to be a part of it? They said, no, don't be a part of it. Cool. So I respect that. But point is like, I didn't grow up in a business family. I didn't grow up in an artistic family. I didn't grow up in a family that anything that what I built looks like on the surface. I did take on a lot of core traits of mum. I did take on a lot of core traits of dad. And I meshed those two core traits together and I was like, a lot of bits don't work, a lot of bits do work. We improved, we changed, we optimized. Here we are. It makes me feel weird. I mean, like, I'm alone. My partner is not here. I'm alone. I'm back in my family home. Although it feels familiar and comfy, like a warm hug, I can't stay here because it's comfort. It's like I can't be here. I can't, I'll just stay here and I'll just like, okay, I'll just be comfortable for the rest of my life. Like there's going to be a little resistance. I'm still finding that I'm able to be myself, but I'm finding that I am a version of me which is like with other people and is fully of service of other people. Families, a lot of the time, they get worried about you. So especially if you do wild decisions like me, they get worried. You know, things you say, things you don't say. I'm gonna clean the lens. Hopefully that's better. I don't know if it was dirty, but it's important to keep a lens clear. It's like integrity. Anyway, that's at least I'm showering every day now. So it's been almost, I think, 2 weeks from the breakup. I'm now at my family home, you know, reminiscing. I know that, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. Yesterday I was so excited. I was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you the stories from Bangkok. I'm going to tell you the stories from LA. I was like, at the end of the day, it was relatively sad. It was relatively sad. We did all the things. We did the Santa Monica Pier. We then ended up having a private LA tour guide accidentally, that because I was so listening and we were so receiving, he ended up dumping half of his life trauma on us while we continued getting high in a state where it's legal throughout the whole time on the bus trip. And I kept coughing and he was like, hey, do you want to stop over for a bottle of water or you're getting sick? Not realizing that we're getting high in the back, but kind of like, it was nice, I guess, but it's all bittersweet. Like any of the stories that I can tell you, it's bittersweet because we would sit there and we would do the thing, we would have the experience together, and then we're like, yeah, so that's not gonna happen again. And you can't really be fully lovey-dovey because you're like, oh, it's not gonna, like, I don't want it to hurt more. Can't pretend that we're deep in a relationship because we're not deep in a relationship. And towards the end, I sort of even on purpose said, let's not like have sexual things, because realistically, like, it's gonna hurt taking that out. It's gonna hurt taking out a partnership. It's gonna hurt taking out cuddles. Like, let's start taking some things out already. So realistically, the trip turned into, well, just bittersweet. So I know what's going on live, and what's going on live right now is I'm designing. There's like, my core is a bit shook, right? My core is a bit shook, and when my core's shook, I don't have confidence in myself. So it's like a real What I think I'm leaning towards is I'm designing rules. I'm designing specific rules for myself. So seemingly I've been infatuated with women for majority of my life. I thought I maybe had a problem at some point with narcotics. Maybe I had a problem with just being too high energy. Maybe I had a problem with laziness. Maybe I had a problem with 9,000 other things. But turns out the problem is ladies. Well, I don't know if it's the problem, but I love women. I love women. I've always been friends with women. I have large women circles. I love women. They're entertaining. Men are closed up. They hold their feelings in. They've got all this ego. They've got all this seriousness about what they are, not realizing that it's all made up and it's all a figment of our imagination, and they're just trying to be a thing so they can attract a woman, so the woman can be like, oh, he's a thing and I'll be a thing and we'll be together, but you're all just human beings. So the thing that I'm doing is I'm creating some rules and structures around females specifically for myself that I have to surrender to. And I'm going to commit to you on camera as well. So I have to surrender to these because we can't do anything. So here's the 2 rules. Now they're soft rules, but are relatively hard. Rule number 1 is until the shred or the rig is done, so the shred is done, no sex, no sexual intercourse, none. And having said that, I did put out the feelers to have a massive party at my house, and I've got a lot of response from 95% women. So I'm already being tested on that. I was like, we're gonna all have a party at our house, and it's all singles as well. So I was like, what are we? And now I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to do it anymore. I was like, shit, like I don't trust myself. And I was like, Andrew, they're just people, and I just love women. Like, I love women. I would want hundreds of them running around with nothing on and just being their beautiful selves, and all have their beautiful characteristics, their beautiful energy, their beautiful minds. I'm just entrapped by what it is to be a female. I love it. I love them. So I love it so much I can't have it, because what happens for me is, seemingly, because I'm sort of really locked in my social circle as well, let's be frank, it's this camera and I and a few other people. Basically, it's you and me. It's you and me, buddy. It's you and me. It's you and me. We're going for it. That's it. You and the camera. We're just gonna be buds. I think this is our relationship. This is gonna be my closest relationship. This is gonna be the relationship that is gonna be my best relationship, because you can never leave me. You can never leave me, because I'm just gonna continue talking to the camera, and I'm gonna think that you haven't left. So if you haven't subscribed, you may as well, because I'm just gonna be here. I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. So it'll be the most consistent relationship in my life. Anyway, I'm going around. The rules are, stay focused, Andrew. No sex until the rig is done, shredder's done. What does that do? Well, Andrew likes women. Andrew loves women. Andrew loves spending time with women. Andrew loves exploring women. Andrew loves doing anything and everything with women. So Andrew really is not happy that Andrew can't touch women. Well, actually, the rule was can't have sexual intercourse. But obviously, I could touch, but no sexual intercourse. Point is none of that. So therefore, I get, what I've done is I've hijacked my dopamine into the rig must get done. So called rig must get done now. Rig must get done. If I want that, I want that. But sex doesn't necessarily bring me into a deep emotional connection. I can have a very deep experience, but I'm probably not going to have withdrawals for 3 months after one evening. I hope. Like, I fucking hope, unless I just like fall in love with everybody. But like, let's hope I don't have that feeling for 3 months, right? So there's no massive withdrawal, which means I can keep plugged in and plug my dopamine systems into my business. Now I have specific financial goals, and until I am doing my personal financial goal, however, this is a soft number because there is certain rules, but until I'm doing over $100,000 a month, every month, profit, I am not allowed to be in a relationship. So I have previously experienced relationships that I've felt maybe I feel a bit like connected to you more. Maybe to you I feel a bit more connected, and maybe you actually help me with my business, and you give me all these new ideas. But on the actual surface, it didn't improve any of my businesses. They usually stayed the same or improved a little bit. But wherever I'm alone and not in the hunt or pursuit of women or interest of women, or there's no females that are interested in me at a specific set of time, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's not a female time. And then what I'll do is I'll plug in directly into work or my passions. I get a lot of results really quick. So when my brain ejects that as a possibility, I just go, vroom, let's focus on what is important to me, which is goals and empowering people to change their lives and live their best selves. And a measure of that is also cash. So like, cash is the exchange of value. So somebody goes, hey, your thing, I really want that thing. Can I give you, do you want this? Do you want this for that thing? Oh, we have money. We all know what $50 is. Here's $50. Can I have that thing? And it's an exchange of value. So it's an exchange of real or perceived value. And that's all that money is. So I've wanted that number, and I've wanted that number for 2 years as a consistent, because I haven't had it as a consistent in the last 3-4 years. I've had 100 to 200 months here and there, but I haven't had it as a consistent, okay? So it's like, and it's a big leap. I want to create a big leap where I expand my physical team. I run different businesses, but I'm not going to fully disclose here. I don't want to advertise them on this channel or anything like that. I will hire more staff for it. So we'll go from a team of 4 people right now to we'll go to a team of potentially 15 to 20 people. That means there's going to be managers and CEOs and chief operating officers also enrolled to run that whole ship. So the idea behind the scenes is financially, from one side, I'm scaling one specific business. And I'm scaling that to a place where I will be able to build a system where it will run relatively passively. So a lot of the stuff that I run right now is passively. It's always a dream that I've had, and I'll probably talk about it this another time. This video has become super long, but I feel like I just want to tell you everything. So, because you and me, we're best mates. So, you're stuck with me. So passive income. So that's my goal, and I can't get into a relationship. Can't get into a relationship with passive until I've got that, because I don't trust myself at the moment as I am to not give up on my goal or destination and instead sink too much time into a relationship. I like depth in a relationship. I like exploring depth, and I enjoy a beautiful relationship. Like, I love women, so I love loving women and everything that encompasses. I love that, right? I love creating an experience for them. I love creating an experience for us in general. Like, I want our life to genuinely look like a movie, and I will do everything in my power to make it feel like unreal all the time. And I love doing that, but it's fine to do when my goals are covered. And I think there's going to be a healthy balance that I'll reach, that I'll realize that I do still have to work on my goals and, love women. But I think temporarily, and it feels like for a very long time, I am not available to date indefinitely. Realistically, several women is more of a potential. Several women that think similarly. I'll get a mansion, probably in Los Angeles, probably somewhere else, and we'll all move in. So think like Playboy Mansion, but conscious, gorgeous human beings. Not unconscious, gorgeous, fake tits human beings. We're talking like conscious, gorgeous, spirit inside vibe, like rays of sunshine. And we can invite people in to have potentially adult parties, we will be able to transcend and lift this human up into like a vibration of love, empathy, connection, etc. Anyway, this might be getting too hippie for you, and hey, we're best mates. So I'm just letting you know my deepest, darkest, not deepest, darkest, my deepest, truest heights of where we're going. So if you don't know where you're going, then you're never going to get there. So at least we know where we're going, but I don't think that's in the next, let's say 2 to 3 months, or probably a year, because we've got to get this rig thing done. We've got to get this money with this passive income done. And then remember, we must stay a little bit away from the females. Okay, we must stay away from the females. I love women though. I really, really love women. Every woman is beautiful. It's just, there's a spirit inside of her, and I can see it, and it needs to be nurtured and loved and let free like a butterfly and like a cocoon. And I love it. Like, I love it. And I'll put her down as well, so it's just the best of both worlds. So guys, I hope I haven't rambled too much, but here it is. I'm at my family home. I think this is going to give me a lot of time to think and just experience. But my intention is, I've committed to come here and to be able to lift everybody's spirits, connect with everybody, and leave everybody inspired and in a more positive mind frame about their own lives. So I can walk away knowing that I've just gone in, and I didn't just selfishly just see everybody and get to feel good, but I've left everybody with, I really want to get in your world and really understand what's going on for you, and then be able to assist or be able to lift the vibration or design a new mental model for you to think about in your current circumstances that you're struggling in, that will make it feel like it's got ease and freedom, and you'll have more power in it. And then you can succeed in that area. For my sister, it's one thing. For my father, it's another. For my mum, it's another. For grandparents, it's another, etc. So just give them all a array of come up. And that's having said me, which is, I've got family health issues. I've literally got a breakup that I'm dealing with, but yeah, I think courage is being able to stay open, stay committed to who you are as a human being and for others, while still hurting deeply inside. That's true courage. If more men knew that, it would be fucking better, wouldn't it? Anyway, have a great day. Best mate.